and start.
All right, everybody, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. As always, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Indie Dev, the official podcast of Graphite Lab. I'm your host, as always, again, the handsome, the beautiful, the wonderful, everyone loves me, John McCula.
Something like that.
I'm here with, See, Steven said my nicknames are terrible, or they've been slipping, and he's absolutely right.
It's true.
But this is Ben Sievers, resident artist of Graphite Lab, and we're here with a fresh-faced, young, bright-eyed individual, another intern here at Graphite Lab, Mr. Robert Coe.
Thank you.
Woo, Robert Coe!
My eyes aren't quite bright though. See, like they're actually a very dark brown, and I just usually describe them as a dark void,
full of cynicism and contempt for the work you do.
And just hatred.
So Robert Coe, you're, I guess, an illustrator?
Yeah, illustrator with a kind of a focus on concept design, concept art.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of knew I wanted to do that because I actually found a drawing I did when I was like 6,
mm-hmm.
and I created this character, and it of course doesn't look that great, but I was pointing out everything he had and what everything he had could do, and it was just so apparently even before I knew what a concept artist was, I pretty much wanted to be one. So
always kind of had that mindset.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So you've been doing a lot of, I guess, illustrations for Hive Jump.
Yeah, I started working on really kind of focusing on one, which is this sort of bipedal bug, or a bipedal if you're in the UK. And
listeners in the UK.
Yeah. And it's just kind of a nice challenge to actually get to work with someone who has specifications for your designs, and who comes in, refines it, and says, yes, this looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Dial back the humanoid elements, or give it a more aggressive look, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
which is nice, because I guess up until recently I've been pretty much working in a vacuum,
mm-hmm.
and just trying to design for myself and build up a portfolio. And I actually started a blog for weekly character designs.
Mm-hmm.
So,
do you want to plug that? What's the URL?
Yeah, let me dig it up. I'll it's like Tumblr / Robert Coe, something like that. I'll find it. But
if you want to give it to me, we could put it in like the description or something.
That'd be fantastic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool, man. So do you appreciate, I guess, criticism for your stuff? Like no, we're going in a different direction, or do you appreciate like the freedom of a vacuum?
There's advantages to both. I guess,
of course.
Yeah, there always is. One's never better than the other. The nice part of being in that vacuum is that I can just say, this looks good to me,
mm-hmm.
so I just keep, moving forward with it. But at the same time, since there's no outward opinion, or at least if I don't ask for it and I try to, it can get a bit stifling.
Yeah, it's hard to just push yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Direction's always nice, I think.
So I try to take challenges whenever I can. So there's the Gnomon Workshop has a fly, and it's a big one that just came in here.
It's a big fly in here.
Oof.
It's gonna be causing trouble.
It's gonna buzz near the mic. Yeah. So the Gnomon Workshop, there's some challenges I usually like to try and do. They're monthly ones, and they're generally challenging enough that I don't complete them. So
what are they? I don't think I've ever heard of it.
There's two types. There's a 2D artist challenge, and there's a 3D artist challenge, and they both are different subjects. They're never like the same problem solved differently. It's two different ones. Except on some occasions, I think they do the same thing, but it's like usually for an environment concept.
So is it like make a desert or something, and then you...
Sometimes it's as basic as that, but like the most recent ones I remember...
Make a desert with a thing in it.
Right. That might be a specification they give you, but a lot of times it's pretty open-ended. So one was like levitation, which I mistaked for Leviathan, and I made a completely
It could levitate.
You just erase the ground under it.
That's what everybody tells me. Just have some kind of wizard like levitate the giant sea cannon, and there you go. It flies.
And do those like the challenges? Do they just make them up just on their own all the time?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. It's just in a forum. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I know like a lot of the like pixel art challenges that I see, it's usually whoever wins it gets to set the rules for the next one.
Oh, that's lame.
So that's always it goes to like super crazy things that people want him to make. It gets pretty funny.
Okay. Well,
because then it gets all like inside jokes and kind of stuff like that. The forum has.
So that'd be interesting, but then it'd be hard to like infiltrate that.
Yeah.
But usually, their prizes are actually pretty good. If you get first place, you get like your pick of 20-something DVDs. And that'll come out to like hundreds of dollars because each DVD is like $60, like $60 a pop. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
you
nice.
Got, like Rush Hour 2, and I don't know what else I'd pick.
Instructional DVDs.
How to stain a deck. That's cool. So have you ever won anything?
No.
Ever placed? Ever?
The one I actually completed was the wrong subject, so...
So you haven't even finished anything except for the Leviathan, I guess.
Yeah, and because I keep thinking, because they give me things like... well, the one that's happening in this month is called Mistwalker.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not used to...
That sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, no, it's this creature that's supposed to be like inhabiting or creating mist and a fog. So I'm in the middle of that. I have kind of an environment to place it in, but I think I need to go back in and maybe design the creature a little more before I kind of get to it. And I'm still not I guess in my opinion, a fully accomplished artist yet. No artist ever thinks they are, but that's why I keep trying to, I have this internship, trying to gain that insight. I'm always drawing. I have to draw at least one thing a day. So, I don't know. But despite all that, actually, I came out of. I'm going to Maryville right now, and it's kind of the things I'm learning are nice, but they push graphic design.
Oh yeah,
they really push it. Like even my one advisor, he's like, I know you love art and illustration, and there's a very strong pull that way, but I really want you to embrace graphic design. It's like, come on, man. I mean,
yeah, no, they're the chapter head for the AIGA in St. Louis, so I know they have a good graphics design program. That's where I always went because that's what my background was in communication design or graphic design. And we always went there for like the student portfolio reviews and everything like that. So I know they got good stuff. Yeah, no, they're pretty small place. It's kind of a cozy campus. It's kind of a bit of a ninja village hidden in the forest. Yeah. Because there's like two entrances and neither one of them are that displayed. So, but I mean that's where I kind of am right now. I'm sure I'd love to be going to like the art center in Pasadena or Full Sail University, but can't really do those things. So
I was trying to look for your blog so I can look at the characters, but
I'll see if I can find it.
Do you know there's a Dr. Robert Coe?
There's weird.
I guess practices in Florida somewhere.
So there's some jerk on Behance that has my exact same name. He's like some kind of graphic artist, illustrator, and he's like.
I'm pretty lucky because there aren't that many people with my name or even like that, like my last name even. That there's just not a whole bunch of Ben Sievers online stealing all my URLs.
Yeah, there's like no John McCulloughs either.
I know even with David, when we looked online and we found that this other random dude that's David Greenfield.
Yeah, I forget. Wasn't he like a convict or something?
I don't know. I think he was
some
big like redheaded guy.
No, he was like a lawyer or something, wasn't he? There might have been a couple. I forget.
Having a tough time finding this blog. This is why no one watches it. They just log into Facebook.
Sears, can you talk, like, because you're doing other stuff besides, like, Hive Jump illustrations. Or maybe we should talk more about the Hive Jump illustrations. So you've been doing bug stuff and then, like, more environment stuff. So are you just kind of, I don't know what's going on. Have you just been kind of been like, do whatever? Or are you like,
I've been
make a desert or make a bug? Or,
I've been really chugging away on that one bug.
Right.
With the more of the bipedal one.
The one that looks like he's wearing like sick armor.
Yeah. I've been really kind of going at that guy just because, like, for the environments, I mean, I can give them, but it's just I don't really know what to do yet, or I don't have a. I'm not trying to blame. I don't really have a clear idea. And
I know. At first, we were kind of gonna just like leave it up to Robert to kind of figure out. You know, we told him like environments, caves, you know, crustacean ocean, you know, like or like you know, planet surfaces kind of things. It can be anything, and you know, kind of let you do your deals. But that might have been a little.
You're tapping the table.
Tap at the table. I don't tap tables. But yeah, it might have been a little broad. It was broad. But yeah. I mean, yeah. But
well, you know,
I think it lets you play around with, you know, making whatever you want to make.
You know, we don't know what we're doing. You know, we're just kind of flying by the seat of our pants here. So, you know, just whatever you want. You know,
and especially when it
comes
looks
to, cool. You know,
especially when it comes to environments, it's so open. Even if even if there was a whole bunch of direction as opposed to like the exact cave, without telling you exactly what to draw, it would be hard. As opposed to you know, some alien, it's a little easier to give it all those, like, okay, it needs to have 2 legs, it needs to have 2 arms, it needs to, you know, run like this, it needs to look like that.
There we go. Found it. It's robertcode.tumblr.com.
I see.
And I cannot Google that thing for, like, my life.
You got some sweet samurai, dude. That was pretty good.
Yeah, the first one was, well, not the first one, this is, like, my latest one. That's kind of a, I call a samurai.
Samurai. They have, like, psychic powers?
No, that's another concept my friend came up with, and he wouldn't let me use that.
Oh.
Apparently he TM'd it. So, this one's a CYMURI AI. And that one's for fun, because I know it's just kind of a cheesy idea. And I just kind of wanted to come up with several designs. I'll come up with a more refined one. Actually, still in the process of doing it. Should have updated on Sunday, but I had stuff going on, so... That's all you need to know. Like
a cyber samurai kind of thing?
Yeah, so each week I try to rotate between let's see, the first week was fantasy, then the next one's modern, and then the next one is sci-fi. And I think fourth week we'll do wild card, just kind of in the vein of creating sort of like your own character for an existing world. Maybe. Or I'll just keep rotating. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And... All right, now that's just my my variation process for the cyborg samurai.
Well, I think it looks good. Seavers, you're a professional. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they look awesome. I know I follow quite a lot of the like concept artists and stuff, and it captures the same like the brushy kind of feeling that a lot of them are using lately. Mm-hmm. It looks really good.
I like this one. He's got like the
number
crazy
3
mask thing.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty popular.
The next one here.
So that one's a friend of mine. He's a big fan of survival horror, Silent Hill, and
I love Silent.
Yeah, loves Silent Hill. He's a huge fan of it. He hasn't played much Resident Evil because Resident Evil's a bit cheesy at times. I like it though. Mm-hmm. But he wanted to create his own sort of survival protagonist, and. The guy's name is like Daniel Caulfield, I think. So just kind of a journalist and wanted to evoke a sort of more not as manly of a character,
kind of everyday.
Yeah,
like Silent Hill.
No facial hair.
It's kind of gruff. What the hell are you looking at? These motherfuckers. Oh, I shouldn't swear.
He's supposed to have a few more softer features. Just his eyes are a little more shadowed just because of the situation he's in.
How can you eat pizza? There's monsters out there. Cool, man. Yeah, I mean, like, all the value you added to the face and stuff makes it look pops real well. And just all the detail with the folds in the clothes. I mean, it's better than I could do. I'll say that. But yeah, I think it looks fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, there's one more at the bottom as my first guy. That was an updated one, or not updated. That was a process and then refinement. So yeah, and then the silhouette variation stage of that same guy. And there's my weapons merchant.
I see.
The idea behind him was a guy that he collects rare weapons. But
he's like the armament master
from
Magic the Gathering, which is the focus of a deck I have.
There you go.
Never mind.
No, he's but he does. He collects rare weapons. He has ribbons on the ones that are on sale.
Interesting.
And he's just kind of he travels around. He's kind of running out of room to stuff weapons in.
And, that seems.
And also looks like a guy you don't really want to mess with. So.
That's very cool.
I just started it not too long ago, and falling a little bit behind as of last week. But I'm, still keeping it going. Not going to let it die.
It's always a good thing.
But I always found like characters to be kind of a weakness of mine, so I tried to dive in and give myself the challenges to make one every week. So
cool stuff. So what are you working on this week? Anything?
I'm still refining the samurai, and then I got to figure out what I want to do for the next project of mine, and then I'm still chugging away on that bug. I'm adding color to it, so it looks much nicer.
Oh man,
that's cool.
You should go neo noir, like make a kind of gruff, smoky, kind of fedora wearing kind of detective character.
That might be an option. Good.
But then he's got like a robot arm or something.
Yeah, you can do that.
That'd be cool. I'd be into that.
Yeah, could just be a change of style altogether, make it more of a Frank Miller. I always forget the guy who illustrates Hellboy.
I don't know. We'd have to ask David.
I'm gonna get crucified for that. But yeah, no, that he like those masters of negative space. Yeah, could use that sort of style.
Cool stuff. So Sievers, can you talk about stuff he's doing? Are you doing anything like outside of illustrations?
Not currently. He was earlier, but
you're doing like trailer stuff, right?
I animated Black Lantern's logo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was giving it sounds and spinning.
and then before that, he was working on some marketing stuff for Hasbro.
Okay.
Ponies.
Yeah.
We love ponies here. So how's that stuff been? Is that stuff like at least interesting? Like
it's good working with a label, like working with a known label and they give you rules for your promos and marketing, which it's valuable experience in and of itself. It's not my favorite thing to do in the world, obviously, but it's some sort of experience. So.
Always worth it for experience, I suppose.
I don't have a problem with ponies, so I'm fine.
Cool stuff.
Go with Applejack, just for me.
Is that your favorite, Applejack?
Yeah.
I like Applejack. Applejack's all right.
I know it was funny early on when we were first starting to work on it. We all took personality tests. Which pony were you?
Yeah.
And it was funny because Ben Donatelli, who's not here anymore, and Rachel both got Applejack, who is like the only one that actually has a job.
That's true.
And all the other ones are just doing whatever. They're the only ones that actually do work. It was just kind of funny.
That's pretty good. Cool stuff. So, Robert Coe, I understand you like a video game now and again. You enjoy a good video game?
I partake in a few, yes.
Any you're particularly fond of? You mentioned Resident Evil, but beyond that, anything?
I'll just offshoot Resident Evil a little quick. I really like 4. 4 is the...
Don't we all?
Yeah.
Everyone loves 4.
Everyone should love 4.
4 is great.
Must be some kind of commie. But that's one of my favorite games of all time. And then currently right now, what I'm playing... God, there's so much redundancy in my sentences. Currently, yes. Right now, what I'm playing is
at this moment
is Blaze.
Time of my life.
There's Blaze Blue Chrono Phantasma.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of an anime air dash fighter.
Right.
So I like head-to-head fighters. Hopefully, I don't lose too many at them.
You know, I like them too, but I'm so bad at them. Like, I don't play them online, but I like playing them.
No, I understand.
Campaign stuff.
Yeah, it's...
So are you, like, good? Like, can you go online and, like, play competitively?
To a degree. I'm, like, I'd say above mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
like, so...
It's better than I would be, yeah.
I can win maybe, now, maybe 60%, 70% of my fights online. So even though my win ratio is, like, 30s right now. Mm-hmm. But that's just overall. Then the other thing I was playing is Dark Souls 2, of course.
I haven't played that.
There we go. Yeah. Yeah, I've been started
We're like
hexing.
brothers. We're like separated at birth.
Exactly. Like, common gaming interests must be kindred spirits. Yeah, started a hexing character, like dark magic. Mm-hmm. So,
cool.
Speaks to my... I usually wear just black clothes most of the time anyway. Black hair, black clothes, and almost black eyes. Yeah, hexing character, that makes sense. And my favorite series is Assassin's Creed, and mostly I love the artwork of it. I very much love the series. I pay attention to the story and all that stuff. I'm not saying that it's purely cosmetic interest for me, but yeah, I always loved Ubisoft's, or at least the artwork that comes out of Ubisoft for the game. Mm-hmm.
So are you going to check out Watch Dogs? That came out yesterday.
I will, but I really want it on a next-gen console.
Mm-hmm. And
I don't have a PC to run that stuff on. I can barely run Don't Starve on my desktop at home, so...
Might be time to upgrade on Go.
Yeah. So...
Mostly more console gamer than PC?
Yeah, I never... Okay, so when I was growing up, I was pretty much the only nerd of the house. Mm-hmm. It was amazing that I got to be as I am now, because as growing up, my dad didn't really know much about games. My mom was a farm girl; she didn't come from around games. My sister was, oddly enough, she grew up to be kind of a girly girl, although she'll throw a punch if she wants to. Makes you prefer it, actually.
Goodness.
But she didn't care for that stuff, so I was always the only person. I have other friends who were like, they had older brothers or something, or even an uncle that loved gaming and told them about certain things. So,
I was pretty lucky. My dad was in computer science. Yeah. And we had a computer around all the time, so I was more of a PC. Even though we got like Nintendos and stuff, I was always on PC playing like Doom before I could read and all kinds of stuff. I remember my favorite was playing Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego before I knew how to read. Just like clicking on stuff, hoping animations play.
Just like learn to shoot demons and chomp cigars before you read. No, I really wish I could have gotten more into PC gaming earlier in my life and then learned how to, mod them and everything like that. I can change out a stick of RAM and a video card. I'm fully capable of doing that. But I never knew, like, the finer aspects. Like, how to make it glow.
I don't know.
I want a luminescent case. So
you just buy one of those.
That's true.
Tape Christmas lights.
Yeah.
Hope they don't melt.
That'll be solid. Just like crack open one of those light sticks. The ones you crack. I lost my words.
Take it from the freezer and just
tape some sparklers on the side. It'll be fine.
But console gamer mostly, just because it's kind of easier for me to deal with. Just go and you buy a game. Come out. So, yeah.
For sure. Ben Sievers, have you been playing anything?
Yeah.
Anything cool?
Yeah, I finally got into, I've been looking at it for a long time, but Sim City.
Oh, yeah.
The new Sim City.
This whole thing.
Yeah. I know it's like forever, but it went on sale. It was like $15 or something, so I had to get it. But oh my gosh, it's so much better than any other. I played Sim City like the first one forever ago or something like that, and didn't know what I was doing, and I probably couldn't read at the time, but I just like play stuff down. I just got really excited when I could could build a football stadium because I thought that was awesome. And I like an airport, and then tornadoes would come, and I didn't know what was going on. But this one's so cool because you can, you start in a big region that has multiple cities in it, and you can like trade between your cities, and there's a bunch of interaction between your cities, or you build some like big department of transportation in one city, and then that unlocks stuff for the whole region. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. But other than that, my littler free time has been spent trying as hard as I can to beat this Caro Blaster game that came out on iOS by Studio Pixel.
Right. Mm-hmm. The Cave Story guys?
Yeah, the Cave Story guys. It's just a little side-scrolling, little shooter game. It's really fun. I know I was playing earlier this morning and screaming about not being able to beat one of the boss fights, and John was probably laughing at me. but it's fun. One thing I like about it the most is that it's like it's a real game. Like, it's on the iOS, and it's like a real game. It's not just like microtransaction fest or anything. Or I played other little like platformer games on the iOS, and they just seem they lack depth, and they're kind of hollow. You're just kind of jumping around doing whatever. But this one, there's lots of progression. You level up your weapons, and after you leveled up your weapon, like the levels kind of react to that. Like, you unlock a new weapon, and the next level really utilizes that weapon, and it comes back later where you have to switch them out during levels to really, it has a lot of depth in how you play it, a little bit more than any of the other, little fun fest iOS games that I've played.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying more depth makes it a real game as opposed to just tapping a screen?
Yeah, well, I mean, even Clash of Clans has lots of depth. There's so much you can upgrade and so much time you can invest into it and things like that. But it still feels like you're just kind of playing like some kind of spreadsheet simulator.
Right.
Or kind of managing the in-game money that you're allowed, kind of stuff like that. And yeah, I'd say in the sense that it is a designed game as opposed to some other game that someone might have put up on iOS for fun, like a fun game for them to make, as opposed to a thought-out, designed game for others to enjoy. Kind of a difference like that. But yeah, and it's not just like a little it doesn't devalue the game so much, but those games are just like those one-tap kind of, even like a Flappy Bird, one tap input. There's not that much depth to it, but people have spent a bunch of time. Still a fun game, but. Not what I'm urging for.
I actually heard an analysis on why Flappy Bird got so popular, and they basically directly attributed it to PewDiePie.
Yeah, oh yeah, he was one of the ones that made it huge.
Yeah,
you get one of those YouTubers to play your game, and if it's funny enough, people will. I mean, he literally said, "Do not play this game," and then it went crazy. Just because they're funny and entertaining, and then it's a good conversational game between friends. So those people that watched him and would talk about him are those people that want to clash against their friends and play silly stuff. And
right, and eventually just peaked to the point where you have people who have no idea who PewDiePie is, and it's just because of word of mouth it got to them, and it's just. So many other things more deserving than Flappy Bird, and this guy, I don't really know why he just removed it from the store.
Yeah, there's a whole big deal.
Yeah,
He was getting death threats and all kinds of stuff, and it might have just been too big for him.
I understand.
To deal with. But yeah, who knows what really went on?
But whatever, he's got money now. I mean, shit, he's got so much from that. How much did that game cost even?
I don't think it cost anything. It was free.
I think it had some ads.
It just had ads in it.
Oh, okay. Well, still.
He was still making a whole bunch of money from it.
Gotcha.
Did that come back yet? It was supposed to be coming back.
Yeah, they brought it back. That was a while.
Flappy Bird's making a comeback.
He put it back on the store, and
this time,
and then that whole thing kind of continued to die out.
Yeah,
as the whole market got just shoved full of one input games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So, SimCity, this other thing. Is that it? All you've been playing?
Oh, yeah, kind of. I know the other night I was playing around with Game Maker. I was going through the tutorials in Game Maker. Just playing around. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Might not be bad to learn.
Mm-hmm. I was messing around with the first tutorial they have you do is to make a game where there's like this, you like build this little arena. It's just the square, and you get this little clown with his giant head, and he bounces around, and then he switches direction and goes all over the place. And your goal is to just click on him, and if you hit him, then you get 10 points, and then he spawns somewhere else and starts moving faster. Mm-hmm. And each time you click him, he moves faster, and you get So I went through and did that, and it was kind of neat. It reminded me a lot of, because they have those drag and drop kind of script things,
right?
Where it's I did that whole thing through the scripts where it's okay, you click on it, now you have it jump random and start moving in a random direction, and all these things are little just drag on scripts that you're doing. It made me think a lot of when I messed with the Warcraft 3 game editor,
right?
Because they had a lot of stuff like that too, where you just you'd hit you'd hit your Boolean thing or something like that, and it would bring up a big list of all these scripts you can throw in to have it do, and then it kind of builds it for you where you're not really coding. And I thought that was kind of neat, kind of fun.
Cool, cool stuff. I've been playing Dark Souls 2.
I'm not playing Dark Souls 2, unfortunately.
Being a nerd.
Loser hasn't gotten into Dark Souls 2. I actually beat Dark Souls 2 on Monday.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Have you beaten it?
Yeah, I did.
Dark Souls, yeah.
Did you enjoy the cryptic ending?
Always do.
Yeah, that's the game's name.
Yeah.
It should be Cryptic Souls.
This one was kind of strange. Dark Souls 1 gave you a choice. This one didn't give you a choice. Or maybe it did and I didn't see it.
No, it didn't.
Maybe you just kept hitting yes through the dialogue and accidentally did something.
It wasn't even dialogue.
I mean, if you think about how the first one ended, it doesn't really matter what your choice is anyway.
Yeah, there's really no.
So, you can either keep the flame going, and then it's going to die out eventually, or you just let it die right now.
Yeah, and this one, it was kind of the same thing, but it didn't even give you that choice. You just kind of, I won't talk about it anymore. I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
It's probably for the best, because people were really disappointed with the previous one's ending, where it gave you a choice and it didn't really matter.
Yeah, well,
some people were kind of disappointed with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. At least there's Project Beast to look forward to.
That's true.
What's that?
It's rumored Demon Souls 2, as opposed to Dark Souls.
Oh, neat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's something Sony still holds the name Demon Souls, which is why they had to make Dark Souls.
So Sony's going to have someone else make?
No, it's still a From Software thing. But they have a bunch of screenshots, leaked, I guess, kind of screenshots. And there's blunderbusses and stuff, and there's a bunch of... It's still kind of very gothic, kind of scary looking medieval-y stuff, but I'm excited for it. I'm sure a lot of people are excited for it.
I love how that's the natural progression of a lot of fantasy worlds. Is you start out with your swords and magic and guns, man.
Yeah.
It's in Fable when they just added
Right.
guns.
Magic's boring. I want to shoot metal at people.
Who wants to use bows when you just use a gun?
And I love how
it's going to take you 8 minutes to reload it.
Try and rationalize it's just using a bow and arrow, or it's a cone AOE. But no, man, if guns were actually in there, they would just dominate.
Yeah.
No one would be using no bows and arrows no more.
Aside from the taking 8 minutes to reload it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I thought, Mountain Blade.
Yeah.
Any of you played?
Yeah, I played.
It's really good, but they did the same thing with their updates after Warbands. Then there was the Chinese one, Fire and Sword or something, where they added guns to it, and then they did a pretty decent job because it took you 8 minutes to reload your gun and then you shoot again. I never used them because they seemed horrible.
That one was alright, but if you got shot by those, it was a one-hit kill.
Oh, was yeah. I only played Warband a bunch. I just didn't play that one because I was eh.
Yeah, I started with that one and then I went back to Warband. And I'm Warband's better, but I played enough of the other one. I'm not going to play this anymore.
Are you guys looking forward to E3?
I am. I like following the coverage and all that stuff. I don't know if...
It always passes me by, and I'm just like, oh, stuff happened.
No, I hate E3.
You know, I don't dislike it. I just never, like... You know, it doesn't consume my life for that, like, week that it's going on.
It's like my Super Bowl, man. I mean, if I had the day off on, like, the days of E3, I would just... Well, I don't have that many friends that have time to come over, but, like, if I did, I would just get hot wings and stuff.
Just watch E3. It'd be fun.
Like, you know...
Yeah, man, I'd be down.
The same, like, if I hear an announcement of a game I really want, it's, like, the same as a touchdown. Just like, oh! And you just jump off the couch.
I know I was excited.
Kingdom Hearts 3!
I was excited for... One time, like, for a while, we were, like, going on some vacation, and we never had, like, cable TV back in the day or whatever.
Right.
And it was back when, like, before G4 started being really bad.
Yeah. When it was, you mean Tech TV? When it was called Tech TV?
Like, right when it switched from Tech TV to G4, and it was still, like, kind of okay, but, like, on the way to getting not so fun. There was, like, E3 was that week, and we went to the hotel, and I got to, like, watch it, like, for the first time that I'd never really watched it before. And just got like, oh, this is awesome. But then, you know, never really had cable TV for a while, so I never really watched anything about it. And now it's just on the internet.
There's just
it's just passed me up so many times.
I'm just gonna stream it while I'm working in there. I'm just gonna listen to it. But I mean, there's just so much fun stuff that happens there. There's these. You know, people come on stage, their spokesperson, they'll just make a fool of themselves, and that will just ridicule them. They'll make memes out of what happens there.
Yeah, it is quite a culture.
I rewatched, someone made a compilation of all, like, the Mr. Caffeine stuff.
Yeah.
The weird Ubisoft thing. Someone got up and he's just real, like, hyper and making terrible jokes, and it's just kind of rough to watch.
I remember that one time when, a couple years ago or whatever, on the Wii, when they were doing that, like, music one, when they were all, like, using Wiimotes and, like, pretending they were saxophones,
That's
and,
right.
like, that's not how that game works.
Nintendo has hardly ever had, like, a good E3. Like, even the one where they announced Skyward Sword, their stuff didn't work right. It was horrible, because, like, he was trying to do stuff, and then Link was spazzing out with the sword, and he's like, there must be a cell phone out there. You know?
I remember hearing about that, yeah.
He just couldn't get anything to work right.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it sucked. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to, you know, a bunch of new titles. I forgot to mention this, I'm a Metal Gear Solid fan.
I love Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to The Phantom Pain.
Me too.
New trailer for it.
What'd you think of Ground Zeroes? Did you play Ground Zeroes?
I actually did. I have a friend who has a PS4, so I just kind of mooched off his PS4
and go over for like a half hour.
Yeah, no problem. Didn't play into the bonus missions. They played the main one. From what I played, and I mean, yeah, it sucks that it's like what $40 for the PS4 and Xbox One.
It was $40 when it came out. It might have had a price drop right now or something. But
that's unfortunate, but
yeah, I mean, I got like 5 or 6 hours out of it.
I can see myself replaying that thing over and over and over again, though.
People definitely do, and you totally can. Like, there's all kinds of weird stuff where you can beat this mission in however many seconds, or tag all the enemies, or do stuff and get more percentages that way.
Right, and but from what I played, I mean, I screwed around a bunch, and I didn't know where I was going half the time. But it was really cool, though. Just the way Snake controls, it's super interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was. It must be one of the best probably playing Metal Gear Solids.
Yeah, definitely.
And 4 and 3 I think are really good, and even Peace Walker.
Oh, Peace Walker.
Peace Walker's pretty good. But this one, just kind of the things it does to make you more aware of your surroundings and stuff, I thought was really smart.
Right.
And I'm like, I feel like I know what I'm doing. Like, because when you play stealth games and you fail a lot, it's like, I'm just like a big dumb idiot, like stumbling around, setting off alarms everywhere. But this, it was like, even the thing where like someone sees you and you get like that, half second to slow down.
Yeah.
To like, take them out real quick before they set off alarms. I'm like, even that is just awesome. And then there's like the tagging stuff so you can see where people are, and cool stuff where you can shoot out lights and then,
right.
make, you less visible and stuff. Just a lot of smart decisions, I think.
Yeah.
That reminds me of one of the stealth missions in Return to Castle Wolfenstein. Because, if you alerted anyone, they had a time where they'd run, and if they got to the alarm thing, they'd set it off. Mm-hmm. But you can quick save that game at any time. You can save the game, whatever. Right. So you're just running around, looking around, trying to be quiet, looking under stuff, and they're all on their patrols. And then suddenly, for no reason, the alarm's going off. And you're like, okay, I don't know what I did. You start over, and you run, and you go, and then a lot of the times I do something and be like, oh, okay, nothing happened, it's all right, I'd quick save. And then 2 seconds later, the alarm would go off. So now I have my save, right before and there's nothing I can do. So I reload it and look around, try to shoot whatever I can. And, nope. Those were.
It could have been him.
Yeah, I could definitely see it being nice to really giving the UI and everything really giving you a chance to figure out what you did wrong. Mm-hmm. And definitely help.
Yeah, for sure.
And I do like the tagging function because realistically, if you were to infiltrate a place that was as open as that, you would get on a high perch, you sit up there with some binocs and try to scope everybody out as much as you can. Yeah. And this one rewards you for doing so, which is really good. And
so what does it do? Does it
it kind of
tag on your map where they are or something like that? So then when you run around, you see
is it on the map
or anything like that?
If it's not on the map. I think it's on the map, but you can see where they are through walls. So you look around, you just see little symbols of where the
because you tagged that dude before.
Yeah, it gives a little hint. There's this kind of reddish skeleton underneath them, but it's not complete X-ray vision where you're just seeing through all the layers of a tent. It's just hinting at where they're at, so you can kind of get an idea.
Fade in and out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So,
what'd you think of Kiefer Sutherland?
I don't have a problem with him, quite honestly.
Yeah.
Hater is, he's Solid Snake to me. That's who he started out as, and that's who he is to me. But Big Boss he's a different guy altogether. And then you see him in MGS4.
And he's not David Hayter there.
He's Robert Doyle, I think, is his name.
I forget who it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there is, I guess, that. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
You don't understand. And
he's not always been David Hayter.
And Peace Walker, I don't know if Hayter smoked too much during that recording, but God, Snake had throat cancer in that.
I know, he was particularly gruff.
Chico! It was just this really, really, really gruff voice, and it was almost unnecessarily so. And I think they just wanted to go for much less, quote unquote, cartoonish. Mm-hmm. Just gruffness. So I haven't heard. He doesn't talk a lot.
He has a dozen lines. I counted in the last cutscene because I was playing through it the second time, and he has 6 lines, and 2 of them are just him grunting.
Yeah, I think you have to listen to the tapes if you want a good example of how he sounds. Mm-hmm. And he sounds like Kiefer Sutherland. I don't know. It's.
I didn't hear him enough to get used to him, I guess.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing in Phantom Pain I'll talk more. And
I think that's something... Yeah, and I think that's something actually Kojima mentioned is that he didn't want to... now he doesn't have to say how they feel anymore. Because normally he'd just be oh man, it's hot out here. Now he doesn't have to. He can just wipe his forehead and have this... exasperated look on his face to express that it's hot.
Yeah, he was talking about when you find Chico or whatever in Ground Zeroes, and he's before I would have had, him say, for a half hour what they did to torture him and, how he felt about it. Now he's
just bloodied and bruised or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
He freaks out.
Less verbal communication, I guess.
You just choke him. Calm down, kid. And just choke him out.
Yeah, man. I keep talking about Metal Gear Solid, but what I really want to talk about is, since you brought up E3, do you have any predictions about E3? Any announcements you're expecting? I'm expecting Project Beast is going to get shown.
I would think they would, and during the Sony conference. Yeah. You're not going to hear anything about Kingdom Hearts. I can almost guarantee that. Or if you do, it's going to be a teaser again, because they're too busy on Final Fantasy 15.
Yes,
I think it's 15.
They announced those at last year's conference at the same time.
Yeah, it was 13 verses, and it's just like, nah, screw it, 15. Like, they did that.
So is 15 going to be like a whole new story?
Yeah, because they had 13 verses, which had this guy with black hair and kind of cool looking outfit, I guess, and it was supposed to be set in the same universe, but not the same world, and it just didn't make any sense. So I think after a while, it took them...
Sounds like Final Fantasy.
Yeah, of course, now it is. But it took them so long to get this development going. I think after a while, they did it in front of the trailer. That said Final Fantasy 13, and then they just wiped it away, and then it became 15. This is not a joke. And so we'll see more of that. We'll definitely see more of Metal Gear.
Be interesting. And I'm always excited about the new Final Fantasy story games. You know, like what are they going to do new now? Even though I didn't really play the previous one with Lightning and everything.
Right. Ubisoft has a press conference every year, and we'll see Assassin's Creed Unity. They have another one called Assassin's Creed Comet. I'm not sure what that one's going to be about, but maybe we'll hear about that. I don't know.
Like a Vita something?
Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll see.
A Wii U?
I think maybe yeah. Not the Wii U.
Only Kinect-driven games.
Ooh,
oh, God. And then we'll see more in The Division. You guys seen that one?
Yeah, that was at a press conference.
Not sure what it's entirely about, but...
it's some Tom Clancy thing.
Yeah, whatever. It's like
satellites and soldiers.
Kind of a quarantine city, and there's soldiers in it, and you're going against... It's a kind of a multiplayer, open experience, so you'll roam around in a posse, and then you'll meet other people. Maybe they want to kill you, maybe they don't. They probably do, though. It's online.
Satellites and soldiers sounds like a good name for a game. If they remade Swords and Soldiers... But with futuristic tech,
sounds like a board
it would
game.
Be satellites and soldiers. Yeah, a board game or something. That'd be cool. That's what we should call our Hive Jump pre-campaign.
Satellite and soldiers. There you go. And Ubisoft always brings kind of this wild card at the end of the conference. If you notice that, one year it was Watch Dogs,
right,
and then last year it was The Division. So I'm hoping they'll continue that and still trying to put out something that we've never seen before. We've never even heard of.
Interesting.
EA, who cares?
Okay. Yeah. They'll show on Battlefield or something, and maybe Mirror's Edge will show up.
Yeah, actually, I'm excited for Mirror's Edge too.
That might be kind of
see what that's going to look like.
Maybe Battlefront.
Yeah, maybe. I guess that was a little harsh. There's a few things to look forward to.
Now they're big about the Sims 4 that's going to be coming out, but that's probably sooner-ish than a real...
Amy Hennig was working on a new Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
And I guess that's at what's the studio? They mean Dante's Inferno.
I don't know.
Visceral.
Oh, okay.
Visceral's apparently working on some Star Wars things, so maybe they'll show some of that.
That's cool.
That might be kind of cool. But yeah, this year is kind of crazy because a lot of big announcements, I guess, are either getting leaked now or are just getting announced normally now.
I noticed that
the Kinect Xbox thing, the Kinectless thing. That seemed like a very press conferencey thing that they would do.
To be told. Yeah, maybe they should have. That would have been a really good thing to just bust out in the crowd. That probably could have waited.
Get some applause for that.
I'm noticing this weird trend of the games being announced, but they're just being announced with cover art.
Mm-hmm.
And then they do the trailer or something.
Not even for Far Cry 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a cover art of this flamboyant
dude in a purple suit or something, and just says Far Cry 4 on it.
Yeah,
and it's say no more. I didn't know what you're talking about.
Pre-order with bonuses here, and I'm just thinking this is the cheapest way you could have possibly introduced the sequel to Far Cry 3. This is horrible.
Probably, pretty much.
Why?
They'll probably have a trailer at E3, I guess, maybe.
Yeah, I guess.
But then it's not a surprise.
No. Should be expecting it.
Yeah. You think Sony will show some of their VR stuff? Because they've been talking about
Have they been working with Oculus Rift that much?
They're making like their own version of Oculus Rift. And they showed some of it at like GDC or something.
Yeah, I didn't hear
PAX
much.
Or something.
I didn't hear much coming out of GDC. I didn't really follow it.
I wouldn't be surprised if they have like an onstage demo of it, because it is just like another headset thing.
And hopefully it's not like a huge fiasco like the there's like what was it their interactive like magic storybook thing.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about that. I can't remember what it was called. It was like Wonder Books or something.
I never saw that thing. Did that thing actually happen?
That thing came out.
It did.
It had like a J.K. Rowling made a thing for it.
Yeah.
And then I think that's about it.
Yeah,
unless there's some sort of hidden market.
They wheeled out
Wonder Books.
They like wheeled out a living room.
Yeah.
And a carpet.
And they stayed on there for like 20 minutes or something.
It was bad.
God, move on, please.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a Sony conference without some kind of new tech being clumsily showed off. And then let's see, Nintendo.
You might show the Order 1886 or whatever.
Yeah, if the guy hasn't got too much flack for, because I think he said something about people who shop at GameStop are stupid, and GameStop's stupid, and people who I thought I heard that and just kind of killed his own momentum, but
maybe.
I don't think people care anymore though. It looks interesting though. When I saw the trailer, it was like Victorian England, and then not Victorian.
It's like steampunky Victorian England,
right?
And they had a gameplay footage come out not too long ago.
Okay,
which is another thing that you'd think would be at the conference, but either got leaked or they announced early. And it looks very pretty, if nothing else. Lots of spark particles and things like that. So,
and then what else?
Nintendo's not doing another press conference.
Oh, they're doing the direct?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
like what they did last year.
Smash Brothers. That's going to be
Smash Brothers, maybe a new Zelda. Don't they have like a Dynasty Warriors Zelda thing coming out?
They do.
I'm shrugging my shoulders because I don't know anything about it.
I saw like a little bit of like kind of teaser gameplay. It was... No, they said it was gameplay, but it was like, this is not the final product, or a disclaimer at the bottom. Mm-hmm. And it is. It's weird. You have Link just dashing around the field like a demon and just destroying like crowds of these tiny creatures, and I just feel like a bully. I'm not fighting those moblins or anything. I'm just kicking around these small round things. I could be recalling it wrong, but that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah.
And then, I'm just kind of. I think they're gonna. A big thing is just gonna be Smash Brothers and and what more characters that they'll announce.
Mm-hmm. I'll predict probably a bunch of indie game stuff from Sony and maybe Microsoft as well.
That's true.
There's been that big push. There was a big push last year. They'll probably keep pushing.
Think they'll announce a price drop?
No, it's a little too early.
It is. It is too early.
Might be like a bundle with like the Vita or something.
That would make sense because they said the Vita's supposed to, merge with it.
Yeah, connect pretty well.
Yeah,
and I haven't tried it, but I heard when you can just stream from the PS4 to your Vita and play games with the Vita, and it looks pretty okay.
Oh, you mean like Wii U style?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I just did the other day? I got the Steam, the new Steam streaming stuff, where you can stream your computer to any computer in your house just by logging into Steam on another computer. Mm-hmm. I was playing Portal, up on my TV and stuff. It was pretty cool. Although it might have been maybe my Wi-Fi was being kind of because the controller's input was really laggy. But it might have been that my computer was streaming it to my laptop that was then connected to my TV. That amount of lag was there. But
maybe.
But yeah.
But
it was pretty cool. It was nice and interesting. Everything worked exactly. It was running just fine. My laptop wasn't overheating like crazy because it was just streaming it. That's kind of cool.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Does it did it have any loss of graphical fidelity?
You can set it. You can set it to be there are 3 different settings of best quality of streaming or less and less. And I just had it on normal. I didn't notice really any difference, but like I was on a TV that was kind of far away.
Yeah, gotcha. I figured that would probably just affect like resolution
but,
of the video that it's streaming.
Yeah. The cool thing was that it makes it so like I didn't have to download, I didn't have to download Portal on my laptop and play it. I can just have like all my game, like save space on my laptop, have all my games on my computer or something like that, and then save space on my laptop for other stuff and just stream it all the time.
Right.
But
cool.
It was kind of interesting. It was way easier than I thought it was going to be to just do. All you do is literally you have Steam logged in on one computer, get on another one, log in, and hit a button, and then it starts loading up the game. Like, cool. It was awesome. But,
interesting. Rob Coe, any other predictions for E3?
I'm kind of a dope. I'm really bad at predictions.
Half-Life 3 coming.
Of course. No.
Xbox One exclusive.
Jay Neal's just going to bust through the wall and he's going to...
Well, it's E3. 3 plus 0 is 3. That must be Half-Life 3, right? Sorry, I love those. I love seeing those online.
Microsoft's conference. They have a new president now, right? Or new CEO?
Yes.
Yeah, he seems better so far. I think he's coming from a more game-oriented, business model as opposed to pushing TV a lot.
Yeah.
I'm just excited about them opening up like Netflix and Hulu and all the entertainment stuff
without gold.
Without gold.
Yeah, it was another
the best thing ever.
It was another very press conference-y announcement that didn't happen at a press conference. I'm wondering, they must have something huge.
Or that's what everyone's saying, so they're going to get a bunch of viewers.
Maybe. Who knows?
That's all the leak stuff is so people talk about it beforehand, and then it builds excitement for their actual thing.
Well, obviously, see Halo in there.
Yeah, there's like a Halo.
Another game that got announced with box art. Or got shown off with box art. God, come on.
Halo 5, they might have the Halo big collection thing where it's like 1 through 4.
Yeah, I think they're actually...
That's kind of cool.
They're making a Halo 2 remake, I think. Or they're 343 is kind of rebuilding it.
Something like that.
Yeah.
That's cool. Halo 2 is probably the one I played the most.
Mm-hmm.
But then I just kind of stopped playing. It's not that I played them. I just...
Right.
That's when I jumped off the train.
I understand.
There's that thing from Remedy, the Alan Wake guys. The thing where you can like stop time or whatever.
Oh, what was it? Quantum...
Something. I forget.
Yeah, it's weird.
They might have some gameplay of that. They had a trailer last year. It might have some gameplay.
Yeah, didn't they say something like it was going to tie in with some kind of TV show?
Yeah, something like that. I forget how it all goes.
Strange.
It is strange. Any like Gears of War thing, you suppose?
That's still going.
That's
maybe.
That's iffy. That's iffy because of Cliffy. Well, he left Epic, I think, for a while, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Epic didn't even make the last one.
Oh,
that's
true.
Judgment.
Yeah, that's true.
That was People Can Fly, so
something
maybe with that.
They might not. Yeah, then in that case, if they don't need the original team or as much of it. Yeah, we could see another one. I feel like people have just kind of lost their love for Gears, though. It's not as prolific of a series as it used to be.
No,
because it was Xbox's like killer app first,
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
It was their other Halo.
Yeah.
So
I'm surprised they didn't. I heard they were all decent. Like, did they just stop, or like?
No, they
was
played
it just
well.
Not big enough or something? Like, why did it?
Yeah, I can't speak for it because I'm not a fan that like was entrenched into it for a long time. But I mean, I don't know how strong the online community is.
Yeah, maybe they just like Halo took it all anyway, so they're just like whatever. Let's just like put all their money.
I actually do have a prediction. I'm gonna predict that we're gonna see something of a Last of Us sequel, and at the PS3 at the Sony's conference.
You thinking maybe Uncharted 4? Show some gameplay? Because they announced that.
We'll probably do. Because like Uncharted puts on a good show. if anything. They're good at. I think they literally build a game like set piece to set piece, and then they make the story in between.
Yeah.
Like I know one time they had this one. Like they just knew Drake was going to be chasing a dude. They didn't know who it was going to be, but they had the chase choreographed. And then they had a guy named Talbot he was chasing after. And in the terms of the story, there's literally no reason for him to be chasing this guy. Like,
they
this
just wanted to chase him.
Yeah, this guy's not afraid of Drake at all, and he was running from him. So, but yeah, I think we'll probably see something like that. I saw like this concept art from Naughty Dog, and it was this girl who was playing a guitar, and it very much looked like an older Ellie.
I saw that. I think that was fan made.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, never mind that. I've been had. Well.
Yeah, that's a shame because that looked really cool.
Yeah, it did. Then, yeah, Uncharted. I don't know if Uncharted really The Last of Us really needs a sequel.
No, I don't think so.
So, I think it can just stay as is and be fine.
I just need to play that.
It's good.
You should come over, man. We'll
So,
get some beer.
I was wondering, you have a PlayStation 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Like, the controllers have that screen thing on it, right?
It's a touchpad.
Oh, it's a touchpad, so it doesn't light or anything. It's just a touchpad.
Right.
What do you use that for?
Maps stuff.
Okay. So it's like gimmicky, unnecessary kind of thing.
You can like press in both sides, and it's like two different buttons, and then you can like Killzone Shadowfall had like swipes, so you can like swipe to bring up your drone friend who will help you and stuff. And just kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so little extra bits you don't necessarily need.
I feel like it's going to be like the 6-axis, where they kind of used it for a while. They kind of had some games that utilized it, and after a while, no one's going to bother.
And maybe some of their like more family gimmicky, like Wii Sports kind of titles might utilize it a little bit more or something like that.
That's possible.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's just been used like in Assassin's Creed 4, it was just moving the map around. You know,
that's nice. That's
zooming out, pinching.
I guess if you were like browsing the web on the device, you could scroll with it and things like that.
Yeah, that's probably a thing.
Nice input, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't been doing like a big push on it like they did with 6-axis, but it's just kind of there. You know, it's an extra input. We've been going for over an hour. We usually like to keep it within an hour. So I just got one thing of news I want to bring up, which is that Watch Dogs on PC is apparently pretty terrible.
Oh, good.
Which is to the contrary of PC games, you know, as of recent, you know, they've been usually a lot better. This one apparently chugs real bad. It's poorly optimized. And then there's a report a lot of people can't even, like, launch the thing.
I have a feeling some dude's just going to make a fan-made patch and everything's going to run great.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, some players report an uncoverable error, which causes the game to crash and shut down. So, if you're listening to this and you're thinking about getting Watch Dogs, maybe go for a console.
Yeah, buy that first.
And that's all the news I had.
All right.
Again, a lot of things are leading up to E3, so you know that week and after that week, a lot of stuff's going to happen. So now we usually do comments from like Greenlight and you know whoever asking questions about us or Hive Jump or stuff like that. So I want to point out XXX Mega Man X Man XX, who did the first comment for anything pertaining to this podcast in its history.
Oh no, we had one guy on Twitter say something.
Oh yeah, that's right.
About the blood.
Yeah, that's
color.
right. But this guy's the first like comment.
Yeah,
not a tweet, but a comment. He says, "Hey, when's this game release? Or if you make it early access, how much is it going to cost? I'm really excited about this game." So we're glad you're really excited. We're looking for a fall release. You know, the name September has been thrown around here and there, and then we're looking at a $14.99 price point. So if you're listening, there's your answer.
I'm sure we'll comment if we haven't already.
Yeah. I actually left a comment.
Oh, nice. Look at you.
I told Wraithel, he was like, I'll take care of it, and then he never did. And I'm like, I gotta take matters in my own hands. On the Steam Greenlight page, someone named Therapist says, new jumper looks great. Steve,
nice. Why, thank you. I'm liking the new jumper too. Do we have like the new stuff like updated?
We must. In the announcements.
I think you had a thing.
Oh yeah, we did. Okay, so we did post some things. With the new one.
You compared 3 different models.
Yeah, I know, but that was even older.
You got like jetpack stuff and the jump animation.
Yeah, I remember
things like that.
Posting that stuff.
So
yeah,
people like your stuff, man.
Yeah, I like the new guy too.
And again, there's not a whole lot on here. Since we get green light, people stop leaving comments. But, Jigglypuff says, "Looks awesome. The intro video reminded me of Starship Troopers." Thanks, Jigglypuff. That's kind of what we're going for.
Definitely one of the many references.
And then this will be the last one. Actually, here's XX Mega Man XX, which maybe is the same guy as on the comment, but he asked how much is that going to cost. Again, we're shooting for $14.99. So thanks for commenting twice if that's what you did.
That is you.
And then Overwatch, this will be the last one. It's I would like to see some jumper customization. And that's definitely something we're looking into.
We too.
Yeah. If nothing else, we want to have like palette swapping. And we haven't really discussed, I guess, full like armor swapping, kind of new sprites for different characters. But it is definitely something we want to see, and we're definitely shooting for at least palette swapping, so you'll be able to pick color for your Marine. And yeah, I guess we'll have more announcements on that in the future when more decisions are made. But yeah, that's going to do it for comments and stuff. Thanks for everyone who wrote in. And that's going to bring the show to a close, actually. So
thanks for having us, as always.
Thanks for coming on, Ben Sievers and Robert Coe.
Thanks for having me.
It was nice talking to you guys. Thanks for everyone for listening. I'd like to thank my mother for doing a whole bunch of stuff. And we'll be back next week with more Indie Dev.